theory on how it began? I don't know, Big Bang Theory. Parts of it, but no.
I don't know. Don't know? I have some ideas, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. Thousands and thousands of years. I don't believe God, somebody up there said, we are now Earth. We have a very narrow view of the world, and that if we live by that narrow view, there'd be even more suffering.
Again, I'm not religious. Once, many years ago, with a friend.
And what was your experience with that?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Hypocrisy. Judgment towards the homosexual community.
Okay.
That's a good question. Why do you believe he created man? I don't know, because he wanted to have something to do. I don't know, you might want to edit that question out. I have no idea.
I don't really have a specific higher power I consider like more to me. I don't follow religion or anything like that. Right. Loyalty.
I don't have any idea.
No idea? Awesome. Okay.
I've heard things, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to answer this question.
Okay, that's fine.
No, not straight from the Bible yet. Okay.
More of an overarching presence, I guess, than a specific religious deity. Jesus, I think of the New Testament, the Bible, I think of giant churches, I think of America. I don't know, Jesus, God?
Go?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay.
Father, Creed.
Just like God.
Yeah, just God.
Yeah. Okay.
The world can be in a better place.
He is a center point in my life. That's pretty much everything I do. That they're really critical and very they do.
My creator, something I pray to, someone I give thanks to, but maybe the too close to ties with any kind of particular political harm.
Okay.
It should be completely separate from any political leanings whatsoever.
In hotel room when I was born. I'm actually agnostic, so I can't really ask the question. It doesn't exist. Evolution. Big Bang. Okay. Science. Middle East. Energy dissipates.
Me and Ash talked to this one guy from Texas, and he was like, the first question we asked him was like, what or who just is God in your life? And he was like, God is like everything. Like, I don't know, it was like really cool. And he was a hardcore Christian. I thought it was kind of like just his presence and his willingness to talk to us was so much more like open and like yeah, I'm totally willing to like help you guys out for your project type deal. Like he was just like so more considerate.
Yeah, and even after like we shook his hand, and it was just like really cool because it was like a connection that we had, even though it was kind of like, you know, I felt like we were able to talk to him very easily. I started out asking my question as coming up to them and being like, well, we have a Bible project, could you answer some questions for us? And I noticed that when you went up to them and asked them about that, and you said Bible project, they didn't want to really talk. And then once I adjusted and went to start saying like worldviews class or just a class for project, they were much more open. And also, like you'd ask some of the people we asked, you'd start asking them questions, they'd be open to the interview, and as soon as you mentioned like God in it, they were turned off immediately.
There was one guy in particular who was like I started off and he wasn't very apprehensive, but like once I brought up the whole like, so what, like who do you think God is, or like what do you know of God, like he just kind of, he was like, actually I don't want to do the interview, like went backtracked, and I was just like, oh okay. But I mean obviously he has his own opinions and stuff, but I know it just goes to show like a lot of people, they're like I don't know what his story is, obviously. It probably would have been interesting to hear like what his background was with the whole like church thing, just to see like the reason for him saying he didn't want to do the interview, like you know what I mean, like how he dealt with God and Christianity, you know, like if he had a bad experience before.
And we also noticed that like having younger people were like more approachable, you know?
So notice that nobody was offended by Merry Christmas. So
not one person.
Yeah, so I think we should say Merry Christmas.
Merry
Christmas.
Yay!